Quickmath came in yesterday with 2 wins, but back-to-back wins that netted them 20 points per win on Miramar. Game is still on and game is still set, but who is going to win out the matches from today? As always, you've got myself, James Banks, joined by the name is Toby, and we're getting down to our last games, mate. We are at the point. 3 more Erangel games is all that remains. Then we've got 3 more Miramar for the final day. 6 in total if you can't do the quick math. And I'm still not just talking about the team because those guys, they have a lot of work to do today. They may have been looking good yesterday. Things may have turned around for them. But if they want to make it further up into the top 8, and we say obviously top 12 is the ones that qualify, but top 8 is where the money's at.
Yeah, that's where you want to be sitting. And for me, I mean, the fact that teams that are even further down the list, 4AK, they pulled off a good one yesterday as well. They've just surpassed We Need a Home, and obviously there's still a long, long run for them to take. But honestly, 6 games left to play. I'm just seeing 29 points up to Riddle. That's not impossible by any means. You have to be motivated more than anything if you're 4AK right now.
They had a 22-point win on that final game yesterday. Very easy for them to continue that going forward. But they haven't managed that consistently throughout the rest of this phase. So it is time to step it up. It is the true do-or-die moments that we come back down to here, Toby. But the real interesting one is Avangar currently outside. Riddle 1 point away from him. Se7en, Moonwolf, PG-18 even. Probably PG-18 upwards is almost guaranteed at this point unless some wildness happens.
Yeah.
But from 10th all the way down to 15th, it is still anyone's game to hit in that top 12. But that only gives you 3 potential spots out of the 6 teams that are within it.
I think after today we can start locking down some different spots. But for sure, I mean, one of the big surprises here to me, I mean, of course, we talked about Se7en and Avangar, how they over the whole finals here have not really lived up to what we wanted them to. But PG, they were there. PG were sitting in top 3 at one point, and now they're down in 9th. And there, as you said yourself, I mean, they're not guaranteed yet. Sure, it would take crazy things to happen in order for them to not be guaranteed in the top 12. But we've seen a lot of things where we go, why would you even discuss that? It's not possible. And then, boom, it happens the very next day.
And that's what it's all about. And these are the points, as always, ladies and gentlemen. This is no different to any other day. It is 10 points in total for first place, 1.1 kill. And if you're not within the top 8, you're walking away with nothing unless you've got those kills alongside it.
Yeah, that is the name of the game. And of course, those kills will get you a long, long way. But you do want to get some placements with it too. On the flip side of things, though, I mean, we've seen multiple teams, maybe more so on Miramar than on Erangel. But we see teams like Besiktas, they can easily go out and get themselves 7 kills and no placement points. And I mean, overall, even though you say, we got 9th place, that's of course statistically not the best result. Still, you got enough points to get a 3rd place overall in the game. That's not exactly bad either.
And that's what it's all about, right? We can talk about actually how important it is across the games to manage to make this happen. Yeah. As you see, these are our 3 games for today. And we are starting a little bit later. Obviously, there's been an update to PUBG, and we wanted to make sure not only us that are ready, but also the players can get all their downloads and get themselves all up to date on everything that's going on. But what I was leading to there is more the fact that we've seen some of these teams who will be within getting knocked out in 10th place or something, but they fought 2 teams already and got 7 kills off the back of it. Yep. That actually sees them be within the top 6 overall when it comes down to the final standings of a match because of that pure amount of kills they were able to get.
One team for all of this that I want to see, speaking of kills as well. Zoekt Een Naam had a really good Erangel day alongside Desperado. It was a really, really good day for them, a day 1 of the week here on Erangel. Can they go back and do it again? Or was that I don't want to say 1 week good thing kind of thing, because the thing is, for these guys, sure, you can say, but they're already in it, doesn't really matter, they're well off. Sure they are, but, well, I mean, 11 of these other guys in the group right now, they'll be squaring off against in Berlin, and then they'll take the bottom 4 out and replace them with arguably 4 even better teams than what they have here, right? They need to be at the very top of their game throughout the final 2 days here and prep themselves as best as they possibly can for that event in Berlin next month.
Yeah, and I think that's what it comes down to when you're looking at this. These games as well, probably the most competitive practice games they've got left ahead of going into Berlin, because we talk about this, they're used to playing these teams and stuff, but this is true competition. This is the real action that's going down, which means when it comes down to it, these teams need to make the most of every game they have here. If they want to test something else now, if you're Zen, for example, you're comfortably going to be walking away at least with a top 4 spot, worst case, depending on what else happens today. You can give away a little bit more and say, let's try something here. Let's do a different rotation. Let's maybe stay within this spot for a longer time. Let's try and hold this position. But also, it's going to get down to their research they do going into this. Because, yes, you played against these 12 teams, but like you said, the other 4 teams that will join them, that's a bit of a different kettle of fish when it comes to it. These guys have been playing the heavy hitting, the very top of the top when it comes down to it in Europe.
I mean, the fact that we have reciprocity and unity potentially falling down to this. They were the 2 first and second place teams off of the finals in group stages, on the finals in phase 1, right? They're going to come back down and say, there's nowhere in hell we're coming back here. We're going to stay in Berlin. Again. We're going to stay in Berlin, and that's how it is. And then you have 2 other teams that has never been in contenders. They have even more riding on their backs for people saying, you have not shown us that you're deserving of going back there. They have everything to fight for, trying to get back to it. So there's going to be 4 very hungry teams coming in here up against, 12 of these guys that are, fingers crossed, doing everything they can to get up to that amazing spot in the PEL. And
that's what it comes to. You said about the word deserving there. There are teams who have been battling out in contenders consistently here, looking really strong. Yeah. If you have got this far, and now you get to Berlin, that is where you have to show all your hard work's paying off. Because we see these comments all the time from the community. This team doesn't belong in Pro League. This team shouldn't be here. Blah, blah, blah. They bought a spot or whatever else. End of the day is, what will happen if they can't perform on the days, if they can't perform in the event, then they will go back down. And those contenders teams, they are hungry. They're sat there with their knives and forks out, ready to chomp into any team that is potentially looking to drop down.
But in order for them to get there, they have to live through the last 6 games of play. And the first one of those will be shown us in James. Look at what we got now. We got small men in our parachutes on the screens.
Ooh, look at them.
You see that?
Tickle them and see if they let go.
Of course, for those of you guys not knowing, there is a new patch that we were playing on today as opposed to yesterday's games. Not a whole lot of things are changed. For the players, some things are changed. They can add some more commands and saying, oh, there's a vehicle over there, instead of just setting a marker. They have some different markers to work with. And overall, there's not really the biggest patch in the universe. Next one, of course, is going to be huge. That's going to be Erangel 2.0, ledge grabbing and leaping and all that stuff.
Bring it on.
That is...
it's going to make Phase 3 very interesting.
It's going to make Phase 3 extremely interesting, to say the very least. So this one shouldn't be that much of an influence on the teams here and there. And, looking at where they're dropping, seems like that didn't change up anything either.
Yeah, everyone's gone pretty standard here. We're stuck with it normal, and we've gone all the way up northwest for this circle. Now, you said about this before. You were desperate to see a Zaki game that you hadn't seen. Never had one just yet. Could this be the one? Could the magnets be? Where's Quickmath? Where's Quickmath and the magnets?
Where's Quickmath?
They're by Severny as well.
They're in the circle. A 100% circle guarantee so far. Well, those of you guys who didn't watch along yesterday, yesterday was Quickmath Day. Yeah. I think we can say that, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday was Quickmath Day. That's what it was, and hopefully for other teams they'll get just a little teaspoonful of the whatever was in their breakfast, and then get themselves some circles in their directions.
I reckon even Quickmath after yesterday were like, "This is a joke. What is going on? This doesn't make any sense."
I think everybody just collectively said, "This is crazy," including Quickmath. As much as they enjoy it, of course, getting the 2 wins and 10 kills in each game, that is not something you want to throw off. Especially, they were in a spot where you weren't sure if they were going to make it into that, or out of the bottom 4, I guess. There was no guarantee that they'd be making it to Berlin, but off of yesterday's games, I think they've, if not locked the spot down already, then something close to it.
Now, what it's going to come down to, as well as how some of these other teams are going to lock down their spots going into this new circle, because there's a lot of water in this one. It's going to make it slightly harder for some of these guys. Besiktas, Avangar, and 4AK, all in comfortable positions for now, but it's about where they want to go from here. Basically, Besiktas is dead center as it is.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty well in it, but I rarely see teams in these circles wanting to commit to the likes of Georgiapol, just because it's a big city. You don't want to be forced in and around there. And I think that where Simsi and Lux have made their way down, that would be the area they'd all kind of want to commit to at some point. It's always interesting when you have circles that center around cities, because we know that teams don't like to play cities early, and that forces them to kind of shift out further and away from that city center. So every team that try to come in later, well, they can't go that close, because the whole middle just becomes a wasteland.
And then you always have it where it then eventually goes to a city and they go, damn it, we should have stayed there. They'll rush in. It's like all chaos again.
Yeah, that's when the real chaos
You try to avoid the chaos and then you run straight back into it.
Yep. That is, that's something we've seen before, and wouldn't be surprised to see happen in today's games as well.
Now, when we're looking at, we talk about Avangar, we talk about Se7en so much. Avangar was one of the best teams we had in the group stages, and now they seemingly can't get things together. Yes, we spoke about it yesterday with Tok coming in, replacing Snoopy, but it's so lackluster. I just can't get over the drop-off that's been seen here. Yes, this is a very competitive lobby. Yes, we've got some of the best teams in Europe all trying to vie for a spot to move over to Pro League and get into Berlin. But you would 100% have said, yeah, Avangar would be one of those teams within the top 6, top 8. And now look, potentially not making it.
That's the thing, right? I mean, they need to get some good games here because, as you were saying before, sure, they're sitting in it right now. But Riddle, they were getting things going yesterday. They had themselves a good second-place game as well. And then all of a sudden, you see 4AK finish off the win. That's got to be, if you're Avangar, that's got to put some pressure on you.
Pressure is being applied for sure. It's going to be a very generic, normal start for once. And we haven't been able to say that too often.
Nice and quiet, yep.
We have not had one of these beginnings in quite a while. It's always been some madness going down. You can see Frank rotating around. He's obviously should have seen the supply drop. Surprised if he doesn't go for it.
He was focused on other things. He's jumping out to scout forward. M249, that's a good vehicle for getting those rotation kills on in there. I'm not sure if Frank even saw it. Maybe he's, seems like he's looking up in this direction. It's kind of hard to tell in the X-ray there in the distance. But that's a JJP. He is indeed looking up in that direction. So should be able to get himself a crate. No tag though. Well, they're coming up in his direction. And that could potentially be the first engagement of the game coming in there.
Yeah, they're actually very close to each other. We've got Zen, Se7en, and No Tag Team all trying to get closer towards Everest here.
It's a good spot to sit in. You can sit and you can scout on forward, trying to make sure that you have a good rotation path coming in once you do make the commitment to the push across. Edelweiss will be the one to pick up the weapon. He had the Mini 14 already, so use all that 5.56 to your advantage. Don't split it up too much. It's going to work out for you. 3 guys in Gamerlegion in 1 vehicle. That has me scared, but seems like they should be able to. They find themselves a vehicle real soon, and Edelweiss puts the gun into use immediately.
Instantly working out for him. Aros will go down. Ivor's taking a few shots. Actually, long range here, getting it done. Ivor's having a poke and prod at him, but that's a nice, easy first kill for Se7en to walk away with. I'll be very happy with that. And that was just fast and furious.
And that is the power of the M249. You can just spray on through, and if you can control that recoil, those are the type of kills you can start racking up, especially when you're in situations like these where a lot of teams will have to rotate quite far.
Can I just say, you just made a very good point that I want to really chime into people here is, if you can control that recoil. It is not the easiest gun to control. It does require a lot of skill with it to make it happen. So fair play for Se7en. And fair play to Simsy. He's found Nail Up already from PG-18. He's taken some damage, going to get himself healed up here. But actually, the PG-18 players aren't close. He's got his teammates around him, so they got away with 1 kill, and we'll be able to take control of this area.
We're trying to split the compounds, but Nail Up got caught while rotating, and Simsy secured himself a kill on towards him. They're going to back off a bit, keep their 2-2 split in the compounds, wait for that new circle to pop. Few teams have committed north so far. Could, of course, still shift on up there, but the majority of teams are sitting on the southern side of the river.
Yeah, no tag team. They may have lost Aros already. O'Connell's slightly further away on the opposite compound to where the rest of his teammates are. But considering their position at the moment, they should be careful that another team doesn't roll up on it, because people are all going to be fighting for space around these areas.
He started. Well, I mean, he started showing us a bit of his own old self.
Yeah.
Again, yesterday he was landing some really good headshots, and of course he's always a guy we have eyes on. Him, Max, so many other really good bold action guys out there. They are worth looking out for.
You know what's quite interesting, actually, is that the likes of Clib and Max as well, we praise them so much in the group stages, but as this has got to final stages and it's become so much harder, they're not actually landing those insane shots. They're not being given the same chances that they would have had before, because these little players are well aware of how to maneuver and move their way out getting taken down like that. In
all fairness, I mean, we've pretty much eliminated... I mean, we were seeing Maxis all every game get at least 1 headshot now.
Yeah.
And indeed, I agree with you. He has been he's been sleeping on that one.
I think it's just literally so much harder against this caliber of opponents, because you'll see it from other teams, right? They're not maneuvering in the right way. They're not managing to keep themselves active the whole time to avoid being stood still. So, yes, I can see why these shots haven't come in, but it does make it more impressive when we see them come into play once again.
I mean, as with all other leagues, there will always be a difference in the best teams and the worst, and we've taken out half the teams in the group stages, right? So obviously the level of play is quite a bit higher. Circle Oh, still 50-50. Not going to be easy. Northern Lights just came in from the south, and they have a long run to make and a decision to make as well as to whether they want to cross on over on the west side, maybe take the bridge there, or commit all the way east.
Obviously, from our perspective, we can see which way might be the better option to go.
Yeah.
It's quite clustered down on this western side when it comes down to it. A lot of these teams are already rotating over. Riddle, Tornado right now. They're going up north there.
Yeah.
They're taking the gamble on that, and this is a true gamble. It's the 50-50 when it comes down to it, the river being split through.
Tornado Energy are going to be well happy getting the cube area of there in the center of the map. They should be well satisfied with it. But of course, that's just the thing. You don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the water. Only issue is which side is better if you have to cross eventually, right? The south is really open. The north, you have some trees around. So rather sit on the south in a spot that you can play from, and then have to push north eventually. Not a whole lot more you can do. He's going to get finished off. So yeah, rather sit on the southern side, having to push north, I'd say.
The Northern Lights will lose one player out there. Winside are now going to try and get themselves away. Lots of shots hitting the car for now. Not damaging the Boom or Donator. Moon's still up as well, but he's a bit further afield. He's on the beach at the moment, grabbing some rays, trying to work on that tan. But he might want to join up with his teammates. Got to be careful of that one.
He has to watch out. He doesn't name himself. I was just going to say it. Oh, and the door was open, and that's going to be the line, the trajectory. It's going to throw that fire into him as well. And I think all the guys downstairs like, wait, did someone just knock himself upstairs?
What happened? Oh, they might not see him.
They'll find him. They'll find him. Oh. There you go. That's
desperately trying to hide away.
Oh, so unfortunate. Krabik had a similar situation yesterday. He did end up getting I think it was errors from NoTag down with him as well, and Miramar in the shack. But Se7en, they need to work on their underhand throws. They even now have a new line with this patch that they can tell whether they're throwing underhand or overhand throws. Just because.
He is going to be very unhappy with this.
Yeah.
They got the opening kill. They had a good position. They're just outside ruins at the moment. And there he was on his own. Throws an aid down, and it costs him absolutely everything when it comes down to it.
And there was no way they could push up to him either.
No.
He had a perfect position in it. And, well, I mean, that's just unfortunate. Like, really, really unfortunate.
The feeling as well that he must have gone through there was horrible. Yeah. It's like, I know this isn't going to end well. I'll just try and run somewhere to give me some cover.
Yeah. Fortunately, the other three players are still alive. The Se7en Esports team are indeed chilling, at least for now, as best as they can down in the northwestern side of ruins, trying to pinpoint where that next circle will go. Because, well, I mean, the next one doesn't have to guarantee us one side, but the one after that should do so, which means that this one, well, you'll be able to do the math, and unless if it goes super 50-50 once again, should be able to tell where the next one goes to. David is hitting all the fences there.
He's just making sure that fence is sturdy. You know?
Oh, that's what it is.
Taking a shot at it, yeah, making sure
it
will survive if the world ends and that one will still be standing.
He's to test like the people that get hired by the supermarket to come in and ask for weird things just to see how the employees react to it. Circle, well, Quickmath, they're in it. Up north we go. Is that going to be a thing again today, James?
This can't be real. I'm going to just allow this game to slide for Quickmath, but then the other games, then I'm going to start calling it and say, hey, there's something fishy going on here, lads. This is not the way it's meant to be. We laughed and joked about the magnets. I'm going to call them the magnetic team.
Well, they're in the plane crash area, like they like to call it right now. We'll have to see if the game's actually going to end up there as well. Rita knows that 4AK in the compound, but 4AK knows of Rita's position too, and that's going to be most likely her taken down, or if not, then at least enough damage coming in to be able to get her finished off. There you go. Rita's going to go down, and that's a big punish, trying to get just a little bit of info.
Yeah, she wanted to try and scout it out, but it wasn't meant to be. It won't pay off this time around, and we need to deal with 3 players left alive. Do have a good spot, though, in the circle at the moment. They're up in the north. They already found themselves in, but it's the other teams now rotating around them they should be very cautious of. Yeah,
they need to rotate themselves as well, but I think they might just have heard the Besiktas vehicles. Northern Lights, they were going to commit to the bridge, and if the Deep Looks is in back mirror there, you should see Fex driving in a buggy right behind him. If I was him, I'd stop somewhere. Go to that passenger seat, start shooting, or at least give the info to, okay, bro, that there's a buggy driving right behind you, because... that should be, if not easy kills, then something close to it.
Quizzy's out and he's waiting them all go across, and this is where Gamerlegion might become a little bit unstuck. The spray already starts to come in. Fex drives straight into the deep. That's an early pickup kill for them. More shots happening, lots of damage being done. McCann's the next one to fall on the floor, and Fex gets run over by his teammate. This is not what they would have wanted. Valand, a new player into Gamerlegion. The coach is playing in there. He's just taken a ton of damage, jumped into the water. He wants to stay alive. And Hamster now, the final one on the bridge. Nades coming out to him, and damage has already been done.
A lot of things did not make sense in all of that. When they have the vehicle driving forward, I mean, they have to know that there's an ambush waiting on the other side. Oh, that nade is coming backwards towards them. 2 times now, nades are flying back. Whelan is going to go down. That's unfortunate. So Hamster all by himself. Not the type of start you wanted to have to this one.
Hamster's just going to have to let himself die out here. There is no hope for him whatsoever.
Ain't gonna be easy. Fortunate for him, Northern Lights are not committing to sticking around. Besiktas does lose Ultra. Lipson goes down in return. Lipson had a really good 9-kill day yesterday, and Hamster, there you go, he's gonna get finished off. Unfortunately for him, 16th place and a tough start here for Gamerlegion.
Now, you said about potentially one of the other Gamerlegion, one of the other Northern Lights players jumping out and trying to fight back off against that. But I think that worked out so well. They just drove into Quizzy, they had a nice setup, and they completely sprayed them down. But now they're having to fight with no tag team just to try and get in the circle.
Multiple teams starting their fight, 7 being one of them. We see Pearl there as well, trying to hold off the 3 remaining players in Besiktas and Desperado. Oh, wow, you gotta... You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Someone wants Quickmath to qualify in style. Oh my god. You did just see that correctly, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
That was Quickmath getting dead center. They don't have to move once again. You'd almost say you'd be surprised if it was any other team, but you know, it's Quickmath right now, so Magnets in full force.
Wow. We did miss out on a little bit of action. Vasco and Ivel, I believe it was, got knocked. No, that was Vasco and Page. Knocked off the vehicle. I believe they're both going to go down, but no one's going to grab those kills. Because they were indeed self-inflicted knocks from flipped vehicles, I would assume. And well, that's going to be them going down. And Riddle as well, trying to make the run up the hill here. At least they have the hill for now, but they know that there are multiple teams around them trying to push on through. As I say, that most of them have actually left, and the Boom is left on his own.
Yeah, they've managed to take down the majority of Winside here. Yeah. They still need to push into the circle. They've got some time to play with either way, so they might just try and hunt down the Boom here and make sure they've got this whole area cleared out.
For any player as well that looks at the VOD after this game and he's like, are you actually? This is so interesting. Watch out, he's going to make the run across. Razor is going to be number 2. Oko, he's going to send it as well, but they all have to go down into the water. Unfortunately, the entirety of Tornado Energy has left. Unfortunately, they didn't land that last bullet either. So Oko and company, all a bit alive for now, but they still have a hard push to make.
Combo trying to fire off a few shots there. And Desperado as they make their way in. Northern Lights still dealing with this battle with no tag team, and it's cost them a lot here. Only the Deep and Quizzy remain.
See Hanny, he's gonna get taken on down. The Boom as a solo player secures 1, but there's still 3 more players to be dealt with. Ain't gonna be easy, and that's gonna be too much for him. He is indeed gonna go down to 15th place for Winside. Not the type of start they would have wanted to this day. Again, for those you guys don't know, we have been through a lot of games so far, and it's the final day on rank.
So we'll see Northern Lights. They'll win the battle overall against no tag team and send them out in 14th place. They've got a lot of kills up now, Northern Lights, but there's only 2 of them remaining. Yeah. When they come into this circle, they've got multiple teams looking at them. 4AK and Besiktas right on this western edge, waiting for them to work their way in.
And it's a downhill push towards the circle, too, making things really hard, so their opponents will be able to spot their feet before they can see anything. Moonwolf, they're not eliminated in 16th, because there's indeed still 13 teams alive. Edgecast did go down, though. Calvin taking the same route to Hades. He's not going to be alive any longer. Nemerith, how much longer are you going to live through this one? Vehicle smoking already, and he has a tough rotation to make.
7 out in 13th. Not what they would have wanted once again. They started off with that opening kill, but that's all they seem to manage to achieve. Compot, he sees his prey. He takes a few shots, but he can't make them all connect. Compot, you've got to hit these ones. They weren't even looking at you. No one's even turning to look at him just yet, even reply, so he might get away with it, but those are the ones you want to land.
Nemerith gets taken down, tried to find a well, somewhat of a gap in the circle. Couldn't find one. He's going to get taken out. The Deep gone down to the blue as well, out on the edge. He's going to get finished off too, and now Desperado eliminated. So, James, you were talking about quiet and calm, but all of a sudden, once that circle shifted north of the water, things indeed did become chaotic.
Yeah, basically any team that had to push up from the south, go uphill, that's where they got completely screwed over. And we see most of them die out.
In this circle, in all fairness, I don't think like you could put that white circle anywhere within the blue.
It's gonna hit them.
They would be in somehow, right? Either
Even
Belsish
right
would be in, or they
yeah,
exactly. So this one is not that surprising, but the previous one was just amazing.
It's still pretty center though. Like, that's the thing is, it's not like it's hard shifted away from them in any way.
Sure. For sure.
And see, that this is what happens for Northern Lights. They try to push in. Their team's already rating for them. They've made a lot of noise, so they'll find themselves out in 11th.
They did manage to get 6 kills, though, so everything considered a pretty good game for them. Points-wise, of course, you would have wanted to stay alive for a little while longer. For those of you guys enjoying this area, we actually rarely ever go up here. Ooh, Comfort missing a shots earlier, but recently he gets one straight to the face there. But we just saw it before, the whole plane crash area, because I don't recall us having had a game end here for quite a while.
I've not
This
had
whole
one,
area will be completely changed up in Erangel 2.0. So if you don't know already what it looks like, Google it or find a YouTube video somewhere, do something, because it is indeed going to look something something different. And well, I mean, there's just 5 games left after this one, and then it's all different when we come back.
Azrin being tapped up there. We said about Compot missing shots, still not able to connect to all of them, but he's had 4 kills for Tornado, and the only 4 kills they have. So he is doing his role within the team. Somehow, though, Avangar, they've not tried to fire back too much against him at this point. And Active now finally doing it, but the other 3 of them are further away.
Active is lined up by himself, and they do find him Aliyah. Plenty of damage coming in there. 4 kills so far for Comfort. He has been the flank off player, getting all this damage in.
Scoping around, looking for him, seeing if any of the Avangar players are going to poke up just yet. Still 4 of them alive, and normally you'd be saying, yes, they're deadly when it comes to this. But I can't even be too sure about that anymore.
Yeah. I see both there on grip. They've committed to the crawling play. They're not going to go aggressive on anything. T-Bone as well, he's just chilling down by the rock on the other side of things. And, well, Inoctive does indeed get finished off in the end. But it seems like Tornado don't really want to commit to try and find the other players.
And I respect that. Don't over-aggress just yet. You've got the southern side controlled. You know where Avangar are. You can still look around for other teams pushing into it. So one thing we know they're good at is close range duels, right?
Yeah, exactly. No reason to... I mean, you want to get damage applied from a distance, but if you can lure them in close with a little bit of a surprise element too, that of course is what you want to have happen.
Simsy, you've been spotted, you've been shot down. Ronnie's landed a couple of nice ones. And Ronnie, we talk about him over and over again. He is the aggressive member of this 4AK team. The circle's going to pop, and we are going to see... Okay, that's not too bad. Most of the teams are still within it or close enough to it. It's We Need a Home, T-Bone, the only Zen player left. Riddle trying to work their way into it. No problem at all here for Tornado or Avangar, but they still want to deal with each other to take that side of the circle for themselves.
Exactly. They need to control this area of the map as fast as they possibly can because, well, I mean, real soon other teams will be starting to make the maneuver around here. And as I say, that actually Riddle do decide to go north instead. Thought they might be opting to go down on the southern side. Avangar, they're going to push up north as well, but they have all of 4AK up there too. So I don't think there's enough room for 2 teams on this area of the map. They will have to fight eventually.
Yannick still the solo player there for PG18 in the circle, no problems at all. He's very close to Quickmath, bless him. Will it be the thing that ends up being his downfall? Ronnie going to be tagged up by Simsy and knocked down. How are the rest of them going to react? Northwest still further away, but Nixties and Havoki looking to get into it. Rip 9 here for We Need a Home, trying to get the job done. T-Bone, he was ready and waiting, and he'll take him out, and that's a nice double kill as a solo player, and he stuck his way into the top 8 here. But now Riddle know exactly where he is. The circle's moving, and nade goes up, and T-Bone goes down.
Not a whole lot more he could do there. Gets himself 2 kill points, and also, as you said, James, a placement point with it. So a tough game, everything considered, still managing to get some points with him. Misa does go down, Example finds him from a distance, and well, I mean, that's gonna force Quickmath to finally start engaging in something.
Yeah, they've been able to keep it pretty steady and passive for now. But this is the time where they can come alive. This is where they look to pick up the kills and do what they were doing yesterday. But can they get this done? As Example, he's trying to land all those shots, but it's so hard to find the gap between it all.
He's pushing around this side. Avangar, they did decide to commit on the northern side. I was going to say, are they going to go south? They're going to go north. What's going to happen here? They push straight into 4AK, and that came to cost them. Simsy as well, fighting off Yard up in the northern side of things. Clip's trying to see if he can get some sort of info on all of it, but now he's all of a sudden all by himself.
2OUO really pushed up on that as well. So Quickmath, they've taken a lot of space here. Clib's now going to take some additional shots at him, but they do need to be ever so cautious. I feel like if Quickmath get too split up here, then that's where you're going to see yourselves getting taken out a lot earlier than what you would have hoped here.
Clib is playing this one smart, though. You know there's no way you're going to get the res up on towards Se7en. He has no utility left. And, well, I mean, actually, there's a little bit of a quiet spot on this side of the circle, so they can push back here. That's where they came from to begin with. They knew it was clear from previously. And, well, I mean, if they know the Quickmath are playing from the center trying to shoot south, then that should give him some space on the northern side to prone it out.
Avangar, very split here. Asverin down the south. Max is all over towards the west. They're looking to try and solo skill this up. Circle goes pretty much dead center. Only one shack still within it, which is 2OUO has got under his control. Other than that, we're going to be fighting for a lot of open space here. Expect a lot of prone players as well.
Sneaky snakes. In all fairness, I mean, this is a bit of a change up from what we've seen previously with the circles. It's been all people running around shooting like madmen. Here it's well, I mean, at least now it's a bit more of an open field waiting game.
Compot out here with 6 nades, 5 left now after he's just thrown that one. Melman took some damage though from Ensalento, will find himself knocked down, and it's now how they turn this around and make sure that he doesn't get finished off. 2OUO is going to join up with the rest of his teammates, but is it going to be enough? These nades, they continue to come in. Melman was getting res, but then another nade falls down at their feet and blows them to smithereens. Compot now trying to crawl away, but is it going to be enough?
Right on the money. Yannick has been turned around. He's looking that direction too. Asperin is trying to hold it. Now example spots out Clip. That's going to be Riddle taken down. He tried to embrace the chaos and use that to crawl a bit further forward, but did not work out for him.
Example, he spotted him. Now he's waiting to take his shots. First few taken, he does manage to tag up one. Now 60 damage done as well. Headshot landed, but he can't find the knocks coming in there. They can just back away from this.
Simsi survives this one through. Does manage to get down 4 AK. With 3 players alive, still just 3 HP for Simsi, but he's running. He needs to get further away from that blue before it hits him.
All comes down to timing, but Besiktas, they have so much room. They've got the full northern side of the circle here.
And a crate to it as well. Upgrade that to level 3 gear, potentially a weapon if you're fortunate. One that's worth using late game. And, well, I mean, they'll be sitting pretty well in it.
Now Quickmath up into top 5. They've got 3 kills with it as well. Asverin's going to be found. That leaves only Maxazor left alive. Tornado now, though, on 8 kills. Compot started off with 4. Now the other members of the team are starting to get into it.
Leah wants to make sure no one's creeping up from behind. Fortunately, they found one player just before, but Max is still to be found. We haven't really determined whether he's going to commit to one side or the other. He is inside the circle already, so for the longest time possible, he's probably just going to prone it out.
Oh, and the circle goes towards Quickmath again on the eastern side here. They won't have to move anywhere, so they're well aware of the terrain they've got to work with here, and it's Tornado who feel like they're the kings of the hill at the moment, but when they start to move around now, they've got a proned Yannick just in front of them. They have been looking for someone prone, but they're yet to spot him out.
That's where these snakes really become annoying to have to deal with. Maxazor around the side that seems to spot him. He immediately ran back. I think he might have seen something.
Maxazor's well away. He's like, I might have just been seen. Time to get the hell out of here. Got a couple of grenades. I can hear more grenades being thrown at me. Ooh, no damage done. It's got the sound cue taken off. So many more grenades coming out.
No kills as well for Avangar this game. Very surprising. Not often we see that. Tummel does find Compot, so despite there being snakes all over the place, it's the 2 teams with actual players that fight each other. And Tummel is really putting this MK14 to use.
That's the pickup from the supply crate. That's certainly going to help him out here. He's got an 8 times on it as well, and damage is being done. Damage is being delivered. And Yannick, you've not moved, my friend, for the last 3 circles, and you've not needed to. You have managed to get yourself up here for PGA team once again.
Just chilling.
Elsis taking a few shots this time at Besiktas now.
Things are getting a little quiet. No one's forced to move far just yet. They're all just staying in the position. No one's going to commit to knocks right now. It's open fields in between all these teams. Then, of course, you have Maxis and Yannick soloing it around in the southern side, with Example still alive.
Quickmath's area is so key here as well, as Tomil's going to find another Tornado Energy player. Leah going to go down instantly off it. Yannick's finally found. He will manage to get that 5th place, though.
We'll see Pelsish. Ooh, spots out Tomil, but immediately Simsi sees him too. Fortunate timing for them as Tomil was a bit exposed behind that tree. Quickmath, well, I mean, they saw one team eliminated, but example and Avangar and Maxisor still sitting down there.
Yeah, there's a bit of distance between them as well. Some solo players can make room for each other, but wait to see who else might come to take them down. Damage being done there. 2-0 Euro, that's an easy one for him to pick up. Tornado will grab that 4th position.
He has the angle. He knows which trees the Besiktas players are playing from. It's just a matter of getting the angle. You can see Simsi is actually pushed out a little further forward, and 2-0 does get the knock on. Finish off on towards Maxisor, and now it's going to be the fight taking the other direction here.
So much damage being given to these Besiktas players. Only Simsi stands up. This is solid stuff from Quickmath once again. We joke and meme about the magnets coming in and helping them grab the circles, but this comes down to skill. Now Simsi, he will find a knock onto 2-0 Euro. Pelch is hungry for him. He's got Encelenso pushed up on the tree in front of him. They've got a good angle to try and take him down. The question is, can they flush him out before he can pick anyone else up from his team?
They need to hurry it up. They know they need to make their way forward. Lux was knocked just before this smoke is going to fade out now as well. So Pelsish, do you get the angle? Ahead was spotted.
Sees him.
Yep.
Ready for it. Waits it out. 69. Headshot comes in, but Simsi, he turns it around. He's low on health, and Encelenso, you need to push on this. He's going for the flushes here, but you've got to be so careful. He gets taken down. It's so close. Simsi's pushing round. He did tag up Encelenso just a little bit there, but Simsi, he can't heal. He's got no time to do it. Encelenso seems scared. He seems to have no idea how to play this. He just spots him, but he's not going for the shots just yet. Pelsic is going to be finished off, and Encelenso sprays it out, gets the job done. But my God, that was far too close for comfort.
Almost losing that one, 1v3 or 3v1, I guess.
Yeah.
Simsi played it super well, used those smokes for cover, pushed it out, never just sat down, healed, constantly knew where to look and what to do. Really, really, really close.
But another win. 3 in 2 days for Quickmath. And that's an 18-point game off the back of the other 20-point games they won yesterday. And one thing I'll point out on that last bit is I really liked what Simsi tried to do there, because in their minds of the smoke, they probably are thinking, well, he's got the time to bring someone up. So you saw them all push forward. Quickmath were hungry for it. And then all of a sudden, Simsi's like, not today, I'm going to land these shots. And he had no time to heal the whole time. Encelenso should have pushed on it, but he seemed so scared.
He did not want to do it. Also, of course, having just lost 2 players, like, oh no, I don't want to be the third guy to go down here. Need to buy myself some more time. But yep, good win coming in for Quickmath. 3 wins in 4 games, that is now. For Quickmath, pretty solid performance. No one's going to be complaining about that one. They were fortunate to sit on the right side of the water early on. In all fairness, they were doing the best that they could and doing a good job at holding people off as well. Is it? Yeah, it's Bjorn we're missing. So Wieland is playing for Bjorn that game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Avangar got a 3rd place, but with 0 kills.
It's a 5-point game for them. Not the worst in the world. I mean, everything considered, that they were losing players rather early on, and they were one of the later teams to push in. And well, as with Zoekt Een Naam, they're just going to pick the pot before they got there, because there are few positions to play around. And if the teams that are there already play aggressive and don't make room for you, there's just nothing to take up there. Boink. Nimrod, not a whole lot he could do in that situation. Compat found himself some kills as well. So Nader Energy, pretty decent performance coming in overall for them. As you said early, Compat was the one to rack up kills, but Leah started waking up. Example was their late game to help out too. Good performance overall.
Yeah, solid stuff from them. Besiktas ended up getting 2nd place and 11 kills between just Simsi and Tomil.
That's insane.
That's a way to get the job done.
Yep. Lux went down earlier, but... Ultra went down early, there was, but Lux weren't able to find any kills. But I'm sure if you look at the damage boards, that Lux was indeed on there as well.
Definitely not just the kills. It's never just about the kills, but those are the guys making sure they can get the job done.
For sure.
Now, when it comes to it as well, Tomil managing to get the crate, that changed everything for him. You saw how aggressive he got. He was like, okay, I've got it 8 times. I've got an extremely powerful weapon. Do you know what I'm going to do? Just take every shot I can. And when it was landed, they had nothing. They couldn't turn around and fight that. And you watch how careful Quickmath were when they were trying to duel him.
The thing is, when you have that level 3 helmet late game, no one's going to be sitting around with their Kar 98s. And even if they are, you can tank that first bullet and get 2 shots fired in return with it, right? It becomes such a big difference maker in those late game fights. And Besiktas, even though they got 2nd place, they'll take away the first. For Quickmath, a solid 12 kill game for them. And, well, I mean, they secure themselves 18 points with it.
I thought that Quickmath got 8 kills. They did, didn't they, when we ended it? I'm not being crazy.
Maybe. We'll have to look into it. I know the admin's always double and triple checking the scoreboard, so if this is not completely correct, then of course it will be by the end of things.
I'm pretty sure when it ended, it was like win, then 8 kills alongside. But we'll wait and see how it all goes down. And a lot of kills from a certain few members. Simsy, Tomil, the Deep, Compot, all up there. Then we even it out at 3s and 2s. But T-Bone, he really stood out for me just on the fact he was able to prone it up. He manages to take Zen to an 8th place, but he gets 2 kills when no one else in his team were even getting kills. So strong stuff from him to enable them to get some additional points. And it's just, again, you're in first place anyway. Any points at this point, it's a happy day.
He got 3 points for 2 kills.
Win.
Technically. With the placement that he secured with the 2. Yep, very good performance for him. Making a bad game into a, well, bad but less bad, I guess you can say. Not as bad. Simsy secured a lot of damage done and a lot of kills with it too. He almost pulled off that 1v3 in the end, and you can see in the middle of things, Quickmath, they had the, well, I mean, the circle for a couple of ones in the end game there, and not that much damage applied from Insolenzo. But, well, I mean, the final kill of the game was the one that mattered. Secured his team the win, and rose up to the occasion when his teammates couldn't.
Did you know, I think I've seen so many clips now, just moments from Simsy where he's able to pull off those incredible feats. Solid stuff coming out from him once again. As we look at our new scoreboards, and we'll see Quickmath now up in 6th place all the way from 9th. And that's what these games can do to you. Quickly turn it around. We said they want to be in the money. Well, that's certainly within it now.
That is very, very, very impressive to see them over just the 2 days having risen all the way up there. But in all fairness, it's not the longest jump for a team in PT to make their way back up. It's 10 kill win, 20 points up to 6th place, and it's not impossible. But look at the gap now from 9th down to 10th, right? 30 points, then you have another 22 points down to 11th. Moonwolf, PG, they just want to keep grinding it out, and if you're 7 or if you're Riddle and you want to get into any kind of money, that now it's the time, if not even too late.
yeah. And Riddle, luckily getting a couple of points, will see them ensure that they make that gap slightly bigger between them and Avangar, but it's all coming down to these next couple of games. So it's time for us to go to a break, as always, guys. But when we come back, it'll be more Erangel action. Can Quickmath continue to bring the circles towards them? Only time will tell. I'm hoping that maybe they haven't broken the game, and they do know that circles can't always go in their favor. We'll wait.